My neighbor was besties with Satan. When I was younger, every Friday night, I would go out to dinner with my family along with 3 other families in my neighborhood. All the parents were friends and all the kids were friends, for the most part. One of the kids was younger than the rest of us, specifically 6 years younger than me. Let's call her Annie. None of us really liked her, and maybe we were onto something. As I got older, my stepmom and her parents would tell me stories about Annie, and I was like, what the actual fuck? I'm gonna try to put these stories in chronological order to the best of my ability. One time, my stepmom was babysitting Annie, and all of a sudden, she ran up to my stepmom and her face went ghostly white. She grabbed onto my stepmom's arm very tightly. Annie whispered that they needed to hide or they'll find us. Confused, my stepmom went along and they hid under a blanket for 5 minutes until Annie said that they were gone. Her mom said that Annie once told her that voices had told her to grab a knife and stab her parents in their sleep. Annie hated sleeping in her room, but she loved sleeping on the floor of her parents' room, so they slept very uneasily for that period of time. When Annie was in 1st grade, she would teach her classmates about the Bible. This child had never been to church in her life. Her parents weren't religious. The most Christian thing about that family was that they celebrated Christmas. It was very odd that a 6-year-old could accurately talk about the Bible without owning a Bible or knowing how to access the internet. That's insane. After a couple of years of knowing them, her family decided to move. Weirdly, it was the house next door, but that's beside the point. Right before they sell the house, the garage buckles, and they have to dig up the garage floor and driveway to redo it. Now, that doesn't sound paranormal, but a few years later, they decide to move away to a farm, and the exact same thing happens again. The garage buckles, and they have to replace the garage floors and the driveway. Annie's parents believed that something evil was following them every time they moved, so they had a psychic come to their house and do a reading. Everything was fine until they went into Annie's room. The psychic said there was a great evil in that room and they needed to sage it immediately. That was quite concerning for the parents of an 8-year-old. I've seen her maybe twice since they moved to the farm. She doesn't seem satanic anymore, so hopefully the sage worked and got rid of the evil. Whatever was in that house did not want Annie to leave. Because what are the chances of that happening? The garage buckling? What are the chances that happens at all and twice? Right before they move. That's insane. It was crumbling the house so that Annie was forced to stay there. I don't like that.